Oh, hello, this is Lisa Swank, and it's time for Gina Ahrens Design Team Challenge again, and the challenge is backgrounds. And I discovered that in Gina's Etsy shop, she has these bundles of backgrounds. She also has bundles of embellishments. She also has, a bundle of her painted papers and things. So it's well worth looking at. And and if you're a member of her Facebook group, a Life of Art and Self-Expression group on Facebook, as a free download, you can get these card prompts. It's similar to, and there's 2 sheets of them, and I think altogether it's about 64 prompts, and it's kind of based on the pick a stick. Instead of picking a stick, you shuffle the deck and pick out 10 cards or however many you want to. So I thought I would make the deck of cards with her backgrounds. And but first I wanted to kind of, I bought the $9, I bought 2 $9 bundles. And I seem to have gotten, oh, I see what I did. And they're gorgeous. There are at least 25 sheets in here of her backgrounds that she's put up for sale in our Etsy shop. And this was her pours, and I believe that she still has some of the original artwork of these in her Etsy shop. I didn't check the prices of those though, but there are some original pieces of art. And here it's just a bundle of her pours that she scanned into her computer. Oh, they're gorgeous. Look at that. And that it was $9, but it's like a bundle of at least 25 sheets here. And anyways, so that's what I decided to use, is her bundles of backgrounds. And I'll probably stop the video here before I press on. But I wanted to explain, I'm using these, they're kids cards that I picked up at the secondhand store or something. And this one was the Old Maid deck. And it's not shiny, it's just one of those cheap little card decks for little kids to play with. And I didn't have to do any sanding on them, but even if I did, it's kind of fun to have these cards. And the idea is I'm going to take matte medium and turn this over and glue them down to this background of Gina's that I purchased in one of the bundles. And I'm going to put the face card down, and I can see where the edge of the image, you know, the border of the image is, and I can get a reasonable amount down glued on here. And you know, that's 8 cards that I've got on there. This is a smaller deck, and you know, I even thought about cutting these in half because the little square on the prompts are small, and I could easily just use one deck of cards, but I think I'm going to try and use the whole deck. But they are smaller than a regular size. You know, they're the kids' cards. And I told you about the prompts are in Gina's Facebook group. But I will link that in our Etsy shop. And besides the link to all the other artists that are participating in the Design Team Challenge. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back, and I cut out all the cards that I did today, and I'm just going to do, and this is kind of how they turned out. They're cute. You know, this was the painted background that I used the stamps and stencils with. And I think it turned out pretty cute. And this is the collage down backgrounds out of Gina's Etsy shop. And by the way, she's having a store-wide on all the products, everything in her Etsy store, including her book and our classes, are 15% off. Is all you have to do is use my name, Lisa, all in capitals, and 15 at the checkout stand. Where that's indicated, it'll say coupon code or something like that, and that's where you would put that. Now, to get back to this, the cards, which are gonna, you know, I still have more prompts to do, but you know, it's 64 prompts, so, and they're free in Gina's Facebook group. It was one of her free downloads to all her members, which is very nice. And the stamps that I used was this stamp here, which also matches the stencil that I used, which is this one here. And to me they kind of look like marbles or something. And I used the citrus stencil, and I also used I want to say this is kind of a chevron stencil. You know, it's a little abstract chevron design, but it's cute, and I use that in my background. And what else? And I used, let's see, I used this star, you know, to put on. And then I also used the citrus stamps, because I used the citrus stencil, and I think they turned out pretty good, pretty cute. You know, it turned out pretty cute. And I still have some more to make. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm going to, and I did kind of a bluey and orange, and then I did a yellow, and you know, it's just what you want to do. And on the reverse side, because I still, I think I'll take these away because I'm not going to do them all on camera. But, you know, if I don't cut them quite straight, I do have this little corner punch. Kind of hard for me to use though. And that just kind of evens up the, you know, if I didn't quite cut it right with, but you know, I want to do a little border on here, and just to kind of finish it off a little bit. Oops, am I still on camera? Just to kind of give it. And you know, these bundles, they're not all $9. There are smaller bundles in our Etsy store. And, you know, once you get the download is yours forever. And you can use it over and over again. You know, it's not just a one-time thing. But which is really nice, you know. These are Gina's backgrounds, and you know, I can make my own backgrounds if I wanted to. And but it's just kind of fun to have somebody else's artwork, you know. And all you know, 64 cards is a lot of cards to make, but once it's done, it's done. And it has been kind of fun to do. And you know, you could kind of, if you didn't want that collage down, and I could have cut that a little straighter, but I didn't. You know, you could certainly put some color on that white, but I think the white just will, you know, help you see it a little better. And of course, I found the little one. But so this is what I decided to do for the challenge. And you know, you could even go through and maybe do some stamping on these if you wanted to, you know, just to kind of grunge this up a little bit. And I did use matte medium to collage the quotes down. And there are some nice inks that people use in their printers, but mine, I really have to glue it down pretty quickly, otherwise I end up smudging the ink. You've probably seen me trying to be very careful. But that is my challenge for the backgrounds. And don't forget to use the code if you'd like to, you know, she's got a lot of stamps and stencils, digital downloads. She's got classes very reasonably priced, and some original artwork. Earlier when I showed you the bundle that I got, were of her pours, and I believe that she still has some of those original art pieces. And everything is 15% off. So if you like this, I appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Again, this was for Gina Ahrens Design Team Challenge. Her Facebook group is called A Life of Art and Self-Expression. That's the name of the Facebook group. And that's where you would be able to find these prompts. But you have to be a member to get the download free. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye now. Oh, hello there. You know, I'm of course, there's always another thing that I need to add to these videos, but I wanted to mention right quick that I did not have enough of these little old maid cards. You know, I want to save some of the images, so I kept one of the ones that I liked. But in doing that, I had to, because there are 64 prompts, I had to make my own. And I have not put a border on them yet, but so I did, I think, 17 more last night. And then, but that still leaves quite a few to make. So I decided that I'd pop back on here to let you guys know what I did. And you know, I showed you before the downloads that you're able to get of Gina's backgrounds, which I glued onto a piece of thin cardboard. Matter of fact, this cardboard here is made out of an express mail envelope. You know, it's a very thin cardboard, so I glued down, and I will trace around, and I will get 9 cards out of one piece, and then have a little tiny piece left over to use for something else. But you know, I gessoed the other side, you know, because this is going to be the top side. And I made 3 more of the cards, and you know, I used Gina's citrus stencil, and then I used the citrus stamps on this one. And I haven't actually brought any of the elements out like I have on this piece. I don't know if you guys can, but there's gold paint, and she does have a stamp that is shaped like the chevron, or an abstract chevron, or arrows. Some people will call it arrows. For some reason I don't see it right off the bat here. But she does have one in her stamp set. Yeah, here it is, right here. And that's what I used on this one. And also this one, I used the stencil of that on the background. And then I used the stamp, and the stamp, I just colored it in with a black Sharpie, and I outlined the arrow marks, or the chevron marks. I have to ask Gina what she calls those. So I just wanted to let you know, but since I have, I think this paint is dry. That came out pretty cool. I like that. But I'm going to cut them up. And as all I did, you know, after everything's dry, is I took a pencil and I traced out the card. And I'll do that with all 3 of these sheets. I needed just 4 more cards after these. 27 plus 4 is 32. No. This would be 28, right? Yeah, 28 plus 4 is 32. So I made a really small one. I collaged down one of Gina's, you know, you buy the printout for it. But I don't want this to be too long. With this one, I just used stamps, and then I did you know, I used a toothbrush with some black and white paint to get the dots on there. And that's all I'm going to do to that. But I did want to share how I do this. And it's pretty simple. It's a little time consuming, but once you get the deck done, it's done, just like you would putting them on sticks. And then you would just cut that out. I'll glue the prompt here, collage it down with some matte medium like I did the others. Let's see. And I think it'll be really cool to have a set of these. And you know, the homemade ones are they're pretty strong. They're just as strong as the cards. Matter of fact, they feel a little thicker because, you know, you've added paint and collage material on the back. And so that's all I wanted to say about that. What I was doing, because I fell short having the cards, because I want to save. The images are so darling on there. They're you know, I may want to glue them down someplace. So I kept one of the ones that I like. I think that's in the first place. That's why I picked those up. All right. Thanks.